Peace and all good things. This time of Lent can be a rather challenging time because we're called to go out as Jesus did into the desert. I really love some of the imagery that is present throughout the scriptures. We see really two images, that of the garden, that verdant garden that has a lot of life, very green, a lot of water, pleasant to the eyes and to the senses. And then we have the desert, which can really be challenging, which is a place of testing and of struggle at some times. And I think that for me, sometimes I'm a little bit resistant, especially at the beginning of Lent, because I would much rather be in the garden than in the desert. And we're reminded that we are created, if you will, to be in that garden, to have that life of fullness and abundance and life with God and with our brothers and sisters. And yet the scriptures show us of our choices sometimes in that garden, where we take things for granted, we make bad decisions that ultimately does not lead us to be able to fully recognize and live in God's presence. And sometimes we choose other gardens, sin, those things which may seem to be giving us abundant life, may seem to be making us happy, and yet are mere mirages to the true garden, which is our relationship with God in heaven and here on earth. So the desert is needed. The desert is needed so that we can take a step back and see what are those things that keep us from living in the true garden, the true life that we are called to live with God, our true vocation as Christians. And we really ask ourselves, what are those other fake gardens in which we may live in our lives? And how can we better leave those aside in order to give our whole self up to God and to live in His fullness? We do that obviously through prayer, through fasting, through almsgiving, through prayer, growing in our relationship with God, through fasting, giving up other things, whether that be bad things in which we do or even good things that maybe distract us from living our whole life up for God. And almsgiving, giving more of ourself, our time, our talents, and our treasures, especially to those in most need. But we're doing all of this desert experience, not as an end in itself, but so that we can live more fully with God in that garden, in His kingdom, in His love, in relationship with Him. And it's for that reason that we go out into the desert, that we find that strength that's sustained by God, and we do all of these Lenten practices so that we can know anew a God who loves us and be in proper relationship with Him and with our brothers and sisters. Happy Lenten Journey. God bless you.